Check. All right. Well, that's working at least. Yeah, I had... Okay, well, we'll be there in just a second. I hope. All right, I think we're working. That was weird. So I just spent the last like 10 minutes with panic reboots, and like we're on a different browser. I use Restream and I'm on a different browser. It wouldn't recognize any cameras on my system at all. Like it had permission, but it wouldn't like allow them to work. So anyway, I think everything's working now though. I mean, I can see my own face, and hopefully you can see my face too. Oh, look, I got this thing. I wonder if it. Oh, that's not cool. Oh, I guess you can see that one. It looks a little underwhelming there. It looked cool. It looks cooler looking at it direct. So on camera, it's not quite as cool. I don't know. It's a new toy. Anyway, how is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. I have a horrible cold. I have been the last couple nights have been absolutely miserable, sleeping like all propped up, and sleeping is in scare quotes because I haven't been sleeping well. I do not have COVID. I've tested because that's what you do. You test to see if you have COVID, and it's not COVID, but apparently there are still other sicknesses that exist in the world because I have one. Right now I'm medicined up. Um, I'm medicined up, and I think we're gonna get through this all fine. But anyway, uh, I don't know what that means. But budesonide, is that a drug? I'm not on that one. I don't think. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. Today's been a fun day. So my wife, I mean, I originally live streams were on Sunday because my wife worked on Sundays, and it was part of the weekend where I could nasal spray. Okay. It was part of the weekend where, she was at work, and so it wouldn't take away from our family time. And then her schedule changed, so she didn't work Sundays anymore. But it was already an established routine, so I just kept working on Sundays. And then now her schedule's changing back. And so she's going to be working on Sundays again. She did not work today. They actually closed the bookstore today, and they had a staff like fun thing, like a staff, I don't know, bonding staff, something, an outing. Anyway, they went putt putt golfing, and our putt putt golf place here in Petoskey is it's called Pirates Cove, and it's pirates themed, oddly enough. And so in the email or Slack message or whatever that went out to my wife, they said, "Hey, there's gonna be prizes, and we encourage you to dress up. And just saying, if you want to wear a peg leg, blah 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 or whatever." And y'all don't. I mean, some of you know of my wife. I don't think anybody watching knows my wife. Maybe somebody does, depending on where you're watching from. But um, she so she was a drama teacher for years and years, drama teacher. And so if you tell a former drama teacher that you should dress up for a pirate themed putt putt golf adventure, she's gonna dress up for a pirate themed putt putt adventure. And I wish I took a picture, but it was raining, and she actually was getting ready in the car. Anyway, she full regalia. I mean, pirate shirt. She had like a pirate sash with like beads coming down, and she had a sword, and she had a sash, and she had She had even a pirate themed flask and, like all the like Jack Sparrow, like eye makeup. And she had a stick on beard with like two little things and beads coming down that actually didn't stay stuck. So she didn't wear it. But she went all out. Not one other employee did anything at all. So there's like a dozen people, and she's a pirate. Nobody else is. And I'm just impressed. I mean, that's the woman that I married. She's just she's awesome. So yeah, she was a full on pirate, and nobody else in her group was. But yeah, needless to say, she won. So did she have a parrot? Sort of. It's raining today, off and on, not pouring rain. But she has an umbrella where the handle is like a duck, but it's like a green duck, and so that was her parrot, was the umbrella handle. It was like a, you know, you'd have to hold it upside. If you hold it upside down, like it's a duck head, so it's upside down or whatever. But yeah, that was her parrot. But yeah, it was. Oh, and she had like big metal like skull rings and what else? She had just, I mean, all the things, right? She did all the things, and nobody else did. So anyway, yeah, our matey indeed. I was impressed, and that's the kind of thing where, she's like, so what, do I just keep this all on? And personally, this will come as no surprise to anybody. I would have been thrilled if I was the only person who was dressed up. I would have just hammed it up, being the center of attention. Because if I'm the center of attention, I don't have to make regular chit chat. That's the best part. You can be an introvert, and it's like the introvert who, if you're in a crowded room versus on stage, I would rather be on stage talking any day than to be in a crowd of people just like mixing or whatever. That's my nightmare. Put me up on stage with a microphone and an audience that has to listen. I'm all about that. So yeah, I would have happily worn a pirate costume and had something that people could look at me and I wouldn't have to like worry about what they were thinking, because they were thinking that guy's a pirate. So anyway, I'm glad everybody's doing well. Thank you for greeting each other. That's cool. It's yeah. Oh, is it hot in the UK? It's not hot here now. We had a couple days of hot, and then it stopped. Now it's going to be in the 60s, like for the foreseeable future. I think it gets in the 40s or 50s at night. Of course, Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but um, yeah, it's been downright chilly. Like today was jacket weather, but hot in the UK. Yeah, that's not good. 30 out here at the moment. So yeah, I think 30 is hot. So hot. Yeah. And I was talking too, the other last week, it was like in the 90s here. And I have a lot of friends in Texas, and that's where Linux Journal used to, the headquarters was in Houston. And I was like saying, it's so hot. It's like 95 degrees and I just can't even think. I don't know how people handle this. It's so bad. And um they get that's like normal, like that's normal temperature. It's been in the hundreds for most of the summer. And I'm like, I just can't do it. I don't know how they do it. 39 degrees and damp in Alaska. Oh, is that where are you in Alaska? I have actually quite a few Alaskan friends too. That's pretty cool. 39. Yeah, that's chillier than it is here. But yeah. And Alaska's huge too. I mean, that's just, it's enormous. Mason, we spend our year making our houses warm and hot. When the heat comes, it kills us. Yeah, it's. And that's the thing too. In the wintertime, and I don't think you guys get quite as bitter winters as in the UK as we do here in northern Michigan, but at least not normally. But in the wintertime, you can put on a lot more clothes, right? You can have like heated socks or something. You can have like multiple layers. You can yeah, you can do things to warm up, but you can only get so naked before one, people throw garbage at you. Well, me anyway. Or two, but it's still, I mean, and then you get sunburn. So the hot is tougher to deal with than the cold for me. Don't get me wrong. I don't love going out in the cold, especially when I have to like shovel or something. I don't want to be out in the bitter cold where like when you breathe, it hurts your body, just the cold. But oh yeah, it's just so miserable when it's extra hot. Work here and travel to the Philippines every 3 weeks. Wow, you have like an adventurous life. I travel to the grocery store a couple times a week, and that's pretty much the extent of my travel. That's cool though. I guess I don't have a grasp for how far that is. I guess Alaska's it's just I guess down. I don't know. Is that a long flight? Uh, Phil Am Gabe. I'm curious how long of a flight that is because it seems significant. How long when you go there every 3 weeks? How long are you in the Philippines? Uh, yeah, Mason. I don't like the heat either. I like it to be about 70 degrees. Like 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's like warm enough where you can wear short sleeves. You can wear shorts if you want, um, but not hot enough that you wish you were no longer outside. So yeah, I also really enjoy the fall. The fall weather where you wear a jacket. That's probably my favorite season and my favorite temperature. But if I had to pick like summer, I don't like hot summer. I like warm summer. Let's see. It really keeps a kid. Chronic pain is better. Now that's interesting. I wondered about that. I know a lot of people go to like Arizona and stuff because for health issues. Like I guess it's a dry heat or whatever out there. But I wonder about just the heat in general. If that helps. But cold, I could see cold being makes like a chronic pain worse. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm also a homebody, so the wintertime kind of makes people go indoors where it's warm and cozy, and that's kind of my jam. So while I don't love the cold, I like the warm indoors. So 2 days or so, 3 weeks and 3 weeks. Okay, huh? I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Being able to travel for work is interesting. So I do love hoodie or jacket weather as well. Yeah. Um, Yeah, I guess I'm just not a real summer person, which is funny. My wife loves the summer. I mean, we often joke that she's solar charged, um, because she will, love the beach, just to go to the beach, just to lay in the sun in the beach. And I mean, that just sounds miserable to me. So when we go, usually we don't go to the beach unless we're on vacation somewhere, like we'll go south. When you live in the northern part of the United States, generally when springtime is coming, you're so sick of winter. You just want to like get a glimpse of what, warmth is like again. And so spring break time of year, generally people from the northern part of the US go south. And, if you're going to take a vacation. And so if we would do that, we'd usually go to Florida. Again, it's been a lot of years since we had a normal vacation schedule. Um, but we would go somewhere with a beach and, like Donna just loves to sit out on the beach in the sun. I mean, she'll put sunscreen on now, but she just loves to be in the sun and not me. I have like a giant umbrella dome that's over me and, I'll be sitting in a chair. I don't really like the feeling of sand on my feet, but I'll wear like flip flops and I'll have like, the big umbrella, um, and a book. And so we're right next to each other, me under all the shadows and like cover if anything is exposed, I cover myself with a towel and she's in the direct sun on a blanket, sunscreened, but on a blanket, just letting the sun beat down on her. And I'm like, I just don't get it. Oh man. Yeah, I'm all about shade. Shade. I don't love being on the beach at all because of the sand. I think it's icky. But I'll go there, to listen to the water. Again, sit in a chair and read a book or something. So yeah. Yeah, nerds of a feather, man. We stick together. Samples and tests. I made it to the beach one day this summer, mainly being busy and no one to go with. Yeah, I didn't go to the beach once this summer. I mean, totally on purpose. I'm not even sad about it. My wife went a couple times. She took when we had our niece and nephew come up for a week. She took them, and then another niece came up, and she took her to the beach a couple days, I think. And my granddaughter has gone to the beach a few times, and so probably my wife's probably been a half dozen times this year because we do have a beach. We have, I live on the Great Lakes. It's freshwater, but it's very sandy in some places, and so there's a really decent beach here when it's hot out. And so they've gone to the beach some this summer. Not me, not one time, and I'm not upset about it at all. Yeah, I love the rain too. My wife doesn't love the rain. I love thunderstorms, and we don't get them very often. So I don't know if you read my newsletter, but we did have a thunderstorm like last week, and I just discovered lightningmaps.org or .com or whatever. What a cool site. It was so cool. I mean, I was sitting in here at my office working, and uh I was watching like lightning maps is this thing where if there's a thunderstorm, it'll show you a map and it'll like as soon as the lightning strikes, it goes like click and there's like a dot on the map. And then there's an expanding gray circle. And that expands at the speed of sound. And it's when the thunder is gonna get to you. So cool because it's pretty accurate. I was sitting there watching the like little expanding circle and it just about got to me. And sure enough, as soon as it got to me, I heard so yeah, it was just super, super cool. Oh, let me catch up here. Yeah, tech people. I don't know. I think we appreciate the indoors and warmth. I went camping 2 weeks ago. Never went on the beach. Scott, I'm with you, man. I don't want to go to the beach, and I don't love camping. I think that I would love to maybe glamping. Is that what it is? If we had a camper, I would go. Um, I think that would be fun. But yeah, and bite moose. Yeah, I don't mind sunny days. I don't want to be in the sun though, and I don't want it to be hot. And I don't like the humidity. That's the thing too. When it gets hot up here, there's so much water around us that the humidity is just miserable. I mean, it's like breathing hot soup outside, and it's just gross. Oh, bite moose. I'm also jealous. Yeah, thunderstorm. That's cool. I did spend my vacation on the island. You are correct, and yeah, that was our first vacation since 2019. So no regrets. It was fun. It was only, one full day there, but it was so cool. And like the 2 weeks following at work were rough playing catch up, but I did played catch up. It all went well. And we everything is back and last week was fairly productive, but yeah, I miss having like real vacations. And now my kids are all grown, so there's no kids at home to like go on family trips with and that sort of a thing. So I miss that. I can't stay in my office when it's this hot. Oh, so do you have Mason? Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have solar, or did you just barely not qualify for the solar thing? I think that's what it was. I think you like just barely didn't qualify. Um, that sucks. Yeah, because I know a lot of friends that I have in the UK don't have air conditioning of any sort. Um, yeah, servers are crazy. So I'm taking it you don't have air conditioning then. Thankfully, I do have window air conditioners in several of our rooms, and it as long as it's not terribly hot, we have like one upstairs. The one that fell on me from the top of a ladder. It does a good job of keeping the whole house, tolerable when it's hot out. If it gets too hot, it can't keep up and that sort of a thing. But um, yeah, our house is not terribly well insulated. It's a very old house, and it seems like even on a day like today, where right now it is 65 degrees outside. I don't know what that is in Celsius. I wish I could do that conversion in my head, but it's a cool day, right? I mean, you don't have to wear a jacket if you got, thick northern Michigan blood. But if you go outside, wearing a jacket is comfortable. But I have to have the air conditioner on in my house or in my office. I mean, you can't hear it. It's quiet, but otherwise it's going to be like 80 degrees in my office. Just, heat rises. And for some reason, our house is just not good at regulating the temperature. So anyway, it is what it is. Oh, Mary Bentley is my sister. So hello, Mary. Listening to you makes me think of Anthony, my nephew. When we went camping, he spent 98% of the time in a hammock in the shade reading. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, especially if the hammock has one of those like bug guard things that zips over, because I also don't like bugs outside. I would go outside a lot more often if we had a big screen porch. When we went to the island, that was, I think, my favorite part of the house was they have this screen porch where you could go and it was like you were outside, but there weren't bugs all over. The bugs just drive me nuts. And so I think someday hopefully we can build a screen porch in our backyard. And I would like sitting outside, uh, and yeah, drinking coffee, reading a book. I think that just sounds wonderful, but I don't want to be outside now. Like, you go on picnics or you go to somebody's house and they're like, "Oh, let's go outside and eat." I'm like, okay, I don't want to eat outside because there's bugs and dirt. leaves and gook and stuff. But screened in porch, yeah, I'm all about that. I gotta focus on that. I gotta do you gotta work on getting that. I want to build a garage, but that's expensive. Screen porch, I think, would be more affordable. So, yeah, 65 is about 18 degrees. Okay, I appreciate that. So, yeah, you probably agree, right? I mean, you could go outside. You could go outside and it'd be fine in a t-shirt, but you could also wear a jacket and you wouldn't be overheated, right? 65 or 18, it's that's like fall weather, right? It's nice. That's like the higher end, in my opinion, of fall weather. Yeah, probably the highest. And 65 isn't really that cool. It's rainy here, so it seems cooler out than it is. Um, Root, I am so slow for the Linux Plus content. You have no idea how frustrating that is for me too. I know I am. I have a day job. This is doing YouTube is not my full-time gig. And so I'd love it to be someday, but it's just not. And that means that I don't end up getting the videos out as often as quickly as I would like. There will be one tomorrow. I have my production calendar. So today is live stream and book work is on my schedule. I might not work on the book because this is my wife's last Sunday off. So after the live stream, probably going to hang out with her. But on Sundays, my production calendar is do the live stream and then edit some of my book. And then Monday is a Linux Plus video and catch up on YouTube comments because I get behind on those as well. So yeah, I know I'm slow. Sorry about that. It's not on purpose. It's not due to lack of desire. It's due to lack of hours in the day. Someday maybe I can do more. When I did training videos for a living, when that was my job, when I worked at CBT Nuggets, I when I was in a good streak, I could do 2 videos a day. I generally wasn't that productive, 2 videos a day, but that was always my goal. It'd be just cool to be able to do that, but yeah, I'm not there. Da, da, da. Yeah, eat outside. I'm telling you what, Mason. I mean, we may have different accents, but birds of a feather. Yeah, I don't want to eat outside. Got a table. I kind of feel the same way about camping. If I'm gonna be honest here, um, I guess I understand why people think camping is fun. I am a camping kind of person. Camper with a giant screened in porch area. Basically outside without being outside. That's my ideal camping situation. But I mean, I pay a lot of money to live indoors. Why would I want to go outside to eat? Oh, can't rush perfection. Also, you can't rush whatever it is I do. Blight Moose, I'm not sure what you're testing, but if you're testing the ability to comment testing, your test was successful. Uh, yeah, yeah, I mean, why would we camp? I know a lot of people have fun camping. Like my sister, I don't know if she's still here, Mary. They love to camp. They do. Their whole family loves to camp. My other sister Tia loves to camp. My mom loves to camp. My daughter really enjoyed camping, but me, no, I like being indoors. I like going on I like to go on like color tours. Fall is coming from the car. Just soon drive around and look at the pretty leaves through the car window because then you're indoors without being in your house. So yeah. Oh, hey, Lewis, how's it going? How's it going? I'm glad you're here. Uh, when do I think the course will be complete? I don't. So tomorrow we should finish up section 2, and that leaves section 3 and 4. I think sections 3 and 4 will go quicker than the first 2, but I don't know, and I don't want to make promises that I might break. So I can only say as soon as I can, and I know that's not what you want to hear. And I'd commit to something if I thought that it would motivate me more, but it isn't about motivation. So I just don't have a feel for how my day job is going to go and that sort of a thing. So as quick as I can. I haven't given up on it. I'm not bored with doing it. It's just a matter of like how much I can do in a day. So yeah, tomorrow there should be a video unless something goes horribly wrong, which I don't want something to go wrong. But yeah, tomorrow there'll be a video. We'll finish up section 2. Yeah, Mary camps super often. Oof. Bum, bum, bum. It's just Google being a pain in the butt. We want to know everything about you. And I'd say I'd stay back to sleep. Oh, Yes, you're probably you're very welcome for for the content. Glad you stopped by. Um, when you can Linux Plus, you can appreciate and giving your time and knowledge. Yeah, absolutely, and I do enjoy it. When I did training for a living, when it was my day job, I enjoyed it. Sometimes I would get tired of doing the same course over and over. So when I finish with Linux Plus, it's not like I'm gonna quickly do another Linux Plus course. I get a lot of requests for Red Hat stuff after that, and I don't love Red Hat, but I understand why people want Red Hat training. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we got to get through Linux Plus. We got to get it done. It was cool at Ohio Linux Fest. They used the Linux Essentials course. And did I talk about this last week? They just mentioned that they were going to use the Linux Essentials playlist at Ohio Linux Fest this past Friday and do like a day long course where people who wanted to get certified would use my material. And there's somebody there kind of like moderating or whatever the watching the videos. So I thought that was really awesome. Uh, let's see. So I think you missed one of my Discord posts. It's possible. What did I miss? I know we were talking about software defined radio. Um, if it wasn't that, Lewis, I don't know. I might have missed something else. Have I ever done live training courses before? YouTube running the platform? Um, oh boy. So when I work at CBT Nuggets, we would do webinars sometimes, and I would do some live training for those. I haven't. I mean, I taught a Cisco class for 2 years when I worked at the school district. There weren't any teachers interested in teaching Cisco Academy, so at the high school, I taught a class. I mean, that was actual like live in person. As far as live training stuff, no, I haven't done a ton. Like I said, I taught a class and I did like some webinar stuff. I find that while live training is good, especially if you are the kind of where you can interact with people, one, things tend to go wrong for me, Murphy's Law. But also, since I can't guarantee that it's going to be succinct and high quality. Like if I'm recording a video and something goes sideways, depending how sideways it goes, I will leave it in, right? Because I think showing that stuff goes wrong when you're like, if you watch my videos, like if I like the other day, what were we learning? App Armor, and App Armor, and I was using the SS tool as an example. I think that was no, maybe I was teaching SE Linux and I used SS as an example. And instead of saying like AA, no, that's App Armor, so it was App Armor. AA complain, I did like SS complain, and it was like not the thing. I just in my mind combined the two, and so it said like command not found. I'm like, what the heck? But I left it in because that's the kind of thing that actually happens when you're doing stuff. But sometimes if it goes way sideways, where like I end up just staring at the screen for 10 minutes trying to figure out why on earth something went wrong. And then I figure it out. I'm like, okay, this isn't something that I'm going to leave in the video. And in a live session, it is what it is, right? And it doesn't a matter usually of not being practiced enough. It's, sometimes things just go sideways. So anyway, all right, Phil, I'm Gabe. See you later. Thanks for stopping in. Can I tell you about my, let me make sure I will get right to there. Zor 4. Bum, 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 bum. Wish I had Linux Fest in the UK. Yeah, that would be cool. I haven't been to maybe I'll try to go to Ohio Linux Fest next year. What I like about Ohio Linux Fest, I mean, a lot of things. I keynoted for them a while back, which was an honor. Actually won some things in a raffle this year too. I won a picture painted by penguins, like penguin feet. I bought raffle tickets remotely and ended up winning the painting. So you'll see it here as soon as I get it. I'm going to hang it up because I'm pretty stoked about that. But I like Ohio Linux Fest. It's completely free. There's no admission fee, which is just amazing these days. I mean, normally you go to a conference and they're expensive, and I understand, and I don't mind paying, a reasonable amount for a conference. But yeah, they've always been free, which just blows my mind. But I just couldn't go. So anyway, let's see. It's on random. I'll have to look, Lewis. I'm sorry if I must have missed it. Bum, 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 bum. So there's not like Linux conferences over there, huh? I'll tell you what, yeah, UK friends, you should make a conference. I mean, have it somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be cool. One that ain't in London. Costs a fortune to get in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the UK well enough to have recommendations, but I like the small Linux conferences like Ohio Linux Fest, where it's it's just at a hotel. It's not at some like big fancy resort or whatever. But anyway, Northern Chimp, hello. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see if this works. It probably, I can't click on it. I can show it. I don't think I can, but I can't click. It's funny. It looks like a link for me, but I can't. I'll go there in just a second. Let me catch up. What did I missed? This one. What I do for a day job, I can talk a little bit about it. So my job is in the crypto industry, but it's not dealing with crypto myself. I manage Linux servers. There's like 5 or 6 data centers, and in each of those data centers, there's a rack of servers, and it's my job to manage those servers. So I am a system administrator for Linux machines, and the networking that connects them and all that sort of thing. So between, site to site VPNs and the, connections between the servers and how they connect to the internet and all that stuff, all of the from stem to stern system administration on those data centers is what I do. And if things go wrong, I'm the only system administrator. And so if things go wrong, they just wait for me to come fix them. And, in the crypto world, sometimes they can't wait. It has to be now. And so I have lots of notifications set up. So like if you watch the video on things like pushover.net and Uptime Kuma, all those things. I talk about them because I set things like that up to notify me. So if it's 3 in the morning, I can get a push notification that is in urgent mode. So even though my phone is in like sleep mode, it'll ping in the middle of the night loudly next to my head so that I can see it depending on what goes wrong, so that I can come and fix it. Because so I'm kind of on call 24/7, but it's not usually that bad. Usually, I mean, I have it set up so it's pretty self-sufficient throughout the day. But when things go wrong, yeah, they just wait for me to fix them. So that's my day job. I'm a Linux system administrator, and I'm the only one in this particular company. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, just I don't know anything about the geography of the UK, which is sad. I've never been across anywhere in Europe. I've never been anywhere, but let's see. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Canada when I was a kid, and that's it. Nowhere else. So anyway, it's so it's funny, the thing that I really enjoy about the job is that it doesn't seem like it would be different, but I like being a system administrator because there's so many different things that can go wrong. And at the end of the day, my job ends up being problem solver. And sometimes that problem is, a switch is needs to be rebooted. Sometimes that problem is a hard drive has failed. Sometimes that problem is communication over the VPN is broken. There's so many different things to fix that I get to problem solve rather than just, be a button pusher. So that's the thing that I really enjoy about doing lots of different things, is that it's always new and interesting. So yeah, it can be stressful that I'm the only one, but at the same time, I know where everything stands too, right? It's always nobody else is going to be doing something. Then I'm like, oh, I didn't know that you did that. I was going to do that. So there's no toes to step on except my own. So that part is nice. Mason went to New York about 7 years ago, but that's it for the U.S. I've actually, for what it's worth, Mason, I've never been to New York, state or city. Uh, I don't think I've ever been to New York. No, never been to New York State or New York City. I don't travel much. Um, my wife has been to. She wasn't. She was at Niagara Falls, but the Canadian side. She took a school trip there. She was a teacher and took students up there. But yeah, I don't go many places. When I worked at Linux Journal, back when Linux Journal, before it got like closed down and bought and sold and all that stuff, they would fly me out to conferences on the West Coast quite a bit. There's a lot more tech conferences on the West Coast than anywhere else in the U.S. here, and so whether it was up in California or down in California or There are a lot of them in California, I guess. Oh, there's some in Texas. So it would fly me out to a lot of conferences. But apart from that, I haven't traveled a whole lot. I've been to Oregon a lot because that's where CBT Nuggets is based. So they'd fly me out there sometimes. But yeah, I'm not very traveled. I'm not very well traveled. I hate traveling. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you what, man, we're birds of a feather, just different, different sides of the world. And yeah, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable going other places. And yeah, then Lewis here goes all over the place. Um, yeah, Lewis is more well traveled than me by several orders of magnitude. Let's apply the salesman algorithm to figure out the best city. The best city, well, Petoskey. I just need to grow my channel enough so that I can have my own uh, what is like the Linus Tech Tip thing that they do, LTT or what, I don't know what whatever expo thing they did. I need to do that, but like here in Michigan, my farm is right near an airport. I mean, it's rural, but it's right near an airport. Could do like set up places for people could come and camp if they wanted, or yeah, I got like 12 acres. LTX, exactly. Yeah. I got like 12 acres where I can make campgrounds there and people could camp, or there's a hotel right nearby, and uh, have all the events in a, I guess I'd have to build something to have events in. My barn's not big enough, but that's what we got to do. Just got to get big enough to make Nerdlings Ranch. Nerdlings Ranch can host all sorts of conferences. Who wouldn't want to fly to Michigan? It actually is pretty gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie. I do live in a pretty amazing place. People vacation here on purpose all the time. So virtual cockpit. Oh, thank you. Can I do a video about security and privacy? I mean, yeah, we're finishing up the security section of Linux Plus. Uh, Specifically, you have to tell me specifically what you mean about security and privacy. Do you mean like VPNs? Do you mean like yeah, what do you mean? Because I mean, I also have friends who are like privacy experts. Like, I don't know if you listen to podcasts, but the reality2cast.com. So reality, the number two cast.com. That's Doc Searles and Catherine Druckman, and they're a privacy focused podcast, and they're also Linux people through and through. I mean, I know them from Linux Journal, so they're definitely a podcast to check out. But as far as videos, yeah, I don't know. I have to see. I have a place to stay in upstate New York. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, we don't like camping, so I've got to come up with other options too. I got to hit it even bigger so I can set up so I can build a couple cabins on the property. So Nerdlings Ranch can have like a campground area for people who like to sleep in tents, but then there can also be some cabins with like, decent Wi-Fi, a little fireplace, and you know, shower and toilet. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the dream. That's the dream. No, I'm not joking, man. I don't want to camp. I mean, there's a farmhouse there, but my daughter lives there right now. Get some cheap flights and a barbecue going. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too. It's the perfect size airport. So it's actually a regional airport here in the town of Pelston, PLN. If you look up airports, and it's like 5 minutes from my farm, but it's a big enough airport you can actually fly to it without like you don't have to like get on a prop plane or anything. There's like daily flights in and out, and there's like a some hotel right across the street from, but it's pretty rural. It is the perfect size airport, free parking, and yet still commercial flights. So anyway, Nerdlings Ranch looks like a cult thing. Yeah, it does. I mean, but the best kind of cult, right? And so you say cult, I would also probably have Kool-Aid, which makes it a scary sounding cult. Anyway, safe browsers, proxy, something like that. Okay, yeah, I could talk about. Yeah, that's a good idea, virtual cockpit. And the nice thing about that idea is it could be one-off videos, right? It wouldn't have to be part of a course because I want to continue to do courses like Linux Plus, but also I want to have other videos too, so that people want to stick around or whatever for even if they're not looking to get certified or they already did get certified. So yeah, I appreciate it. In fact, I'll write it down. Do you want to see? Can I show off my thing? What are we doing on time? We're still doing great on time. Okay, hold on. I set up this thing sometime this week. It's probably why I screwed up my what did I screw up? Probably screwed up my OBS thing by setting this up, but here. So this is, I think this will work. Let me, okay. Let's see if you see this. So, yeah. So you can see that, right? Can you see my, so this is my super note. This is my super note. What were we talking about? Proxy, something like that. Why did I get this out? I don't even know why I got this out. I got all excited about it. Now I don't remember why I got it out. Well, dang it, I'll just show you now. I don't know. I got it out for a reason, and now I can't remember. So anyway, this is the super note, and I love that it has like this feature to like screencast, and so yeah, like we're watching my family is watching the Barbie movie tonight. How cool is that? We're gonna watch it on the big screen downstairs. But so yeah, this is just my this is my planner. But back. If I go to random notebook, is that what I was? I don't remember what it was I was gonna even talk about. Oh yeah, yeah. Nope. I didn't. Here we go. I have no idea what we were going to talk. Why I wanted to get out my notebook, but if I remember, I'll leave it there for a minute in case we remember. I'll be there if there's cabins. Yeah, cabins. Okay, we're talking about the airports. Talking about the airports. Then we're talking about videos that were one-offs. Man, I do not remember what it was that we were talking about. I even took my ADHD medicine today. I don't even know. Dun, dun, dun. Write a note to do different things. Oh, Scott, you get the grand prize. Yeah, I'm gonna just write some notes here. Video ideas. The secure browser options. Proxies. VPNs. Oop. Ooh. Now you get to see. So to erase, I hold down two fingers, and then I circle, and it erases everything. Oh crap! It erased too much. All right. Proxy, VPN. Did we talk about anything else? Proxy, VPN. Anyway, yeah, that's what that was. Note to do different things. Video ideas. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, you guys are awesome. Anyway, yeah, this is my super note too, which is cool. Now I got to show off my super note, and I'm glad it showed up on the screen. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I have on my production calendar. I mean, tomorrow is the Linux Plus video, and then Wednesday should be a non Linux Plus video. But I don't know. This past week I didn't plan it. One of the things I next video, it's up on my wall actually, is to explain in a video. Nobody here needs this. I mean, if you're here, your nerdiness level is high enough that this is going to be beyond you. But explaining a router, an access point, and a modem and a switch, because so many people in my life, like who own businesses and stuff, their IT team just talks jargon to them and they don't really understand what's going on. And so I just think everybody should understand how the internet gets into your house. You know, what types of things are involved there. It's almost like home ec, right? At this point, I mean, if we're teaching kids how to make oatmeal, we should teach them what the difference between a modem and a router is, and why they're often together, and how Wi-Fi is a whole nother thing. And I don't know. I just want to do some videos like that. So yeah, that's one of them. That's already on the wall though, so I'm not going to write it down. For a second browser, there's WaterFox. Really? WaterFox and Firefox? I've never heard of that. I'm going to write down WaterFox, Firefox. Does anybody use Brave as a browser? I use Brave, but I get annoyed by one thing in particular. So if you use Brave as your browser, it does a lot of things really well. But when you sync different computers together, like laptop and desktop, or this desktop and that desktop over there, you have uh, like so many words. It's like a Bitcoin wallet thing where you have like so many words instead of a passphrase, and then you copy those words, and that is the seed to initiate the syncing between your computers. But like a year and a half ago or so, they implemented this 25th word, right? So your sync code is 24 words long. And it used to be you just use those 24 words on a new computer and it would be able to create that connection and sync up. It was really nice. But then they added this 25th word, which they said increased security, but it all it does is there's a 25th word and that word changes every day. But I don't know how it's a security addition because it's based on a list of words. So you get the word of the day and it's your 24 words that you've always had, and then you have to add that day or that word for the day as your 25th word. How that provides any added security, I don't know. It sure does add annoyance though, because every time I have to sync a new computer, I have my 24 words and then I have to Google like what is today's brave 25th word. So freaking annoying. So that was a really poor choice on their part. But anyway, but I digress. I use Brave. Peter Thiel tainted product. I didn't know that actually, and yeah, it is Chrome rebranded. It is, and what I liked about it, I started using it. What did I? I actually really liked the sync code about it. I thought that was cool. It did a pretty decent job of stopping stuff, but I don't love it anymore. It doesn't provide anything value really that the other things did because it is Chrome, and so I can still use Chrome extensions. But yeah, I don't know. I don't. I used to recommend it, but now it's like it is what it is. You figure on my phone. Should be safer on Firefox? Nothing is safer on Firefox. Yeah, I normally like Firefox, but there are some Chrome extensions that I really like that I couldn't use in Firefox. I think that's why I originally stopped using Firefox, is I wanted to be able to do it. Vivaldi, what is Vivaldi is based on what browser? It's based on something, right? I assume. Um, I mean, so Scott, yeah, I mean maybe it's a two-factor, but it's a 25th word that is a public word. It's the weirdest thing. It's like the only additional security is that it's annoying to go and look up the 25th word, but that doesn't seem like it provides anything other than legitimate users' frustration. So I don't get what the whole 25th word thing is. It's so bizarre. It's just a weird. But anyway. I generally use Chrome or Brave, but that's just a vestigial thing on my part. I just use Brave because I have to export my bookmarks and import my bookmarks. That's about the only reason I haven't. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything else going on that I missed. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so actually I have a note. I keep the note in Trillium, actually. So every time I get a new browser, I have to load up Trillium. And look, there's a GitHub project that knows it's based on a word list. The whole word list is available, like from now until however, like the end of time. I don't know how many years it's available pushing forward, but, and it just will tell you for any given day. So yeah, in fact, I'm surprised I didn't install it on my own thing. Maybe it was a more complicated, like maybe it needed npm or something, and so I didn't. But yeah, there's a GitHub project for the Brave 25th word, and that's usually what I end up doing is going to that website, and then it tells me. It's so annoying. Yeah. All right. I can go back to not showing you my thing. Is anybody familiar with these? So this it's an e-ink device, but it's cool because it's based on Android. So I mean, this is the only Android app, but you can like use the Kindle app on here and actually read Kindle books and stuff. And Yeah, so it works out pretty cool. In fact, a lot of these, my wife, since she works at a bookstore, a lot of these are ARCs, advanced reader copies, and she can read them on a Kindle device. And so, yeah. Anyway, I'll go back to full screen, Sean, and I'll turn off the screen mirroring. I got to think that eats batteries. Alright. Yeah, and it has a real pen, and it's like a ceramic tip, and so it's a very, very fine tip that never wears out, and it doesn't feel like a pencil. Like normally, if you write on a tablet, it kind of they design them to feel like a pencil. This one really feels like a pen, like when you're drawing on a pen, so or with a pen. It's really hard to explain without trying it, but big fan of the Supernote, and I've actually been using it. I think I'm gonna. My newsletter is gonna be about production and using my Supernote a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna have in my newsletter this week. I'm still gonna try to do the weekly newsletter. Oh, I'm switching. I guess that's one thing I could talk. Not that you're terribly interested, but my newsletter is currently hosted on Substack, which is fine. I don't mind using a third party system, but Substack, and then it has like some recommendations where you recommend other things, and there's reasons that Substack is fine, but it doesn't integrate with Bonjoro, which is a program I use for like if I get a new Patreon supporter. I instantly get this queued up thing and says, "Hey, there's somebody is like actually forking over money to support you, buddy," and so then I can thank them with a Bonjoro message or whatever. Anyway, I want to do the same with newsletters. I really like to connect to people individually, and so I want every time there's a new newsletter subscriber, I would get a notification. But Substack doesn't have any API, like no API at all that you can integrate with. And so there's no way to get that information when I get a Substack subscriber. So I think I'm moving to Ghost, to an open source program. I'm going to be hosting my own newsletter starting this week. So yeah, so if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, and hopefully you'll get a newsletter from me this week from the new place. Uh, so let's see. Blake Moves would love some pointers on Ansible for Linux and network automation. So I've used Ansible for some simple things to install stuff. Jeff Geerling is the Ansible guy, right? Man, Jeff Geerling and Ansible, the two things go hand in hand, which made the Red Hat kerfluffle a little interesting because Jeff was on the opposite side of Red Hat for all that, and Red Hat owns Ansible, and a ton of his stuff, is anyway. Yeah, not to get politically charged in the live stream, but yeah, Jeff Geerling knows more, has forgotten more about Ansible than I'll probably ever know. But yeah, I think I have some Ansible things. Do I have Ansible stuff on the website? Sometimes or on my YouTube channel. Sometimes I forget if I have if the course I'm thinking of is something that I put on YouTube, or if it's like something that I did on CBT Nuggets. I might be thinking of CBT Nuggets. Maybe I don't have it. Let's see. Content, playlists. Is there an Ansible thing? Let's see. Caddy, Docker. I must have been thinking of Docker. I have some Docker things there. I don't have any Ansible stuff. Well, that's not cool. Nothing for Ansible? What kind of monster am I? All right. Well, I'm going to write that down. It's not on the screen now, but I'm going to write that back down. All right. Swipe over. Random notes. There we go. Ansible stuff. At least some simple stuff, right? The thing I like about Ansible is once you make yourself some simple Ansible scripts and tools, it's easier to build on that, right? To say like, just build something that does something small and simple, but you have your hosts all set up, and then you can be like, okay, everything is set up, right? I can run apt-get update, apt-get dist upgrade with one command on all my servers, but I have all the things here. So now I could do something else because the infrastructure is already set up, right? Like I can connect to all of my servers already. So now I can add on. So that sometimes those first steps are tough. So yeah, some Ansible, at least getting started stuff I could definitely do because yeah, once it's in place, it's easier to add things and make your life easier. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. I've been given an iMac 2014 i5. I don't know if I run. Somebody here, I think Scott has run Linux on Mac stuff. Maybe I think there's a specific distro that's really good at running on an iMac or on Macintosh hardware. I any of my Macintosh things are actually running OS 10 or Mac OS, I guess it's called now, not OS 10 anymore. But yeah, I mean, I know you can run Linux on it. The only thing I did run it on it a couple times. The only thing I never found good trackpad drivers. They never worked right for me, and also the Magic Mouse. But an iMac, you wouldn't have to worry about the trackpad thing. I mean, unless you have a trackpad. So anyway, Caesar, hello, Caesar XFC, hello. Good to see you again. Oh yeah, that's the thing too. Jeff Geerling, I think, yeah, does have his book available for free as well. And so if you're a book reading kind of person, or I mean, you could also buy it. And Jeff's a great guy. Jeff's a great guy. So he's the kind of, buying his book would be money well invested, not only for the book but for the person who would be getting the money for it. So yeah, highly recommend Jeff Geerling in most ways. Road matters, me at work, deploy some stuff. And and if memory serves, Lewis, a lot of the stuff you do is with Red Hat. And I know that Jeff Geerling has really so much stuff for Ansible. You probably use some of his stuff if you use a lot of the standard available libraries. So yeah. Virtual Cockpit, have to go. All right. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I try to be a nice person. Some days it's easier than others, but yeah, have a great day. You might already be gone. Sorry, I'm kind of slow and seeing comments, but yeah, have a great one. And thanks for stopping in. Join the Discord if you haven't. Um, yeah, join the Discord. Frugo, thanks for the free stickers. Oh, good. Yes, absolutely. They did make it, right? Because, yeah, a couple of weeks ago when I offered free stickers for anybody, I got quite a few takers, which was cool. I hope they made it. Dun, dun. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is the one. Yes. Northern Chip. And I don't know if it was Scott or maybe it was you or who it was, but yeah, that's the Linux distro that is specifically for Mac devices. So Mason, I'm sure you already saw that because I'm behind, but yeah, that was the one I was thinking of, but couldn't think of the name of. Dun, 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 dun. Linux guy still have Linux guy has been around since my time at Linux Journal proper, and sent me a Tux mug, which I broke, and he sent me another one. So and I still have that one. I still use that one regularly. So yeah, Linux guy. Every time I use my mug, I think of you. So anyway, right now I have this mug. This is a Nerdlings mug, but it's the same size. It's one of these big. Oh, this one's dripping. The same big mug, and yeah, so I use it regularly. Oh, that was cold. Yeah, I let that sit too long. Oh, do. Got your stickers too. Samples and tests. Awesome. So a lot of people so I didn't at first put like, be sure to include your name. And so a lot of people got stickers that said like anonymous UK person or or a cool nerdling, and then their address because they just put their address but not their username in the form, which was fine. I mean, I don't need to, know everybody's name or anything, but it was just funny for me because yeah, a big mug for a big nerd. No, you're right, Bite Moose. That's it. Absolutely. And so what I like about this size mug, I used to really prefer the standard size mugs. What are they, like 11 ounces? I don't know, whatever the smaller one. There's generally two sizes. There's this one and then like the shorter one that was more traditional sized. Oh, I'm almost out of time, but um, what I like about this is I have a Ingenuity. I think that's what it is. Ingenuity, but it's a tea steeper, right? It's plastic, and it has a basket in the bottom, and you make your tea in it. You put your tea leaves in, pour the hot water in, and it steeps, and then you set it on top of your mug, and it drains out the bottom. There's a filter thing on the bottom, and so it all drains out. And then you fill up your cup. What I like about it is I can fill that thing to the tippy top, and it fills one of these size mugs up to the tippy top, which is just perfect because otherwise I'm trying to guess exactly how much to put in. And with these cups, I don't have to guess. I just know it holds exactly that much. So anyway, yeah. And yes, Scott does have because and there's a story there. But yeah, Scott has two of these nerdling mugs, which are on the store now. If I was Linus, I would have already given you like LTT Tech Store, whatever it is. But yeah, store.nerdlings.net. You could get a nerdlings mug, but you don't have to. Anyway, that's I have some notes. So thank you for participating and giving me some ideas for non-Linux Plus videos. Not that I don't want to do Linux Plus. I just want to make sure I'm doing not just training videos. That's which is why I started blogging again and doing my newsletter more regularly. I just want to have a more wider array of things. And then where I put the questionnaire out somewhere. Maybe it was on Patreon, but about doing my comic maybe weekly instead of daily. Like I'm having a hard time trying to fit it in, but maybe if I did it once a week, just like one comic. I just loved it. Whether you like my comic or not, is it's fine, but I enjoyed it. So maybe I'm going to start with just doing it once a week. Please do woodworking. So I'll end with this because it's about time. Man, I know you're probably joking here, but I love woodworking. So when I was in junior high, I considered being a carpenter. I mean, I like won awards in junior high for the stuff that I built in wood shop. I really, really, really liked woodworking. Something about having, some physical thing that you've created. It's just awesome. So yeah, someday if I ever get to retire, which may or may not, probably won't happen, I could see myself piddling around in a garage with woodworking stuff because I really enjoy that. So anyway, okay, we're there. I have to go as well. Thank you everybody for tuning in and talking with me. And I made it my voice made the whole time. I made it the whole hour plus. And so thanks again, everybody. And yeah, keep this week should be another on track week with like content and blog posts and newsletters. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll get it switched over to the new platform this week too, which is exciting for me. Anyway, have a great week, and I'll see everybody maybe on the Discord or wherever. See you later. I'm gonna stop now. Always awkward because I have to find the buttons, multiple clicks. All right, really done. See everybody.